Hi, wrestling fans. Thanks for clicking today's Doretta D. Rose report. Let's get to the news. Hey, the name of LANA, her new WWE theme song, is, I don't know what all the words are to it, and letters and stuff. But anyway, it's called Attention. And now it's available on iTunes if you want to check it out. It starts out with it. You got an backwards in, and I don't know. And noted before, over Nancy Grace's show on Headline News was planning a pro wrestling segment on Thursday night with indie star R.J. Brewer as a guest, but the segment's no longer planned, and no word yet whether it's going to be rescheduled. And Chris Jericho's new Talk is Jericho interview with William Shatner is now online. If you want to check it out. Anyway, it also features the world premiere of Fozzie's new single, Light Go Out. And Jericho's guest Friday is going to be superstar Santino Marella and Jericho's son Ash. I don't know how old he is. I haven't heard really anything about him. And Jim Ross is going to be he's going to be hosting another ringside event in Chicago at the House of Blues on Saturday, May 31st at 2 p.m. Tickets go on sale through Ticketmaster Friday at 10 a.m. And noted before that an Evolution versus Shield War Games is being kind of speculated on for quite a while now, or at least the War Games, pay-per-view. But so far, no arena between now and SummerSlam would be available to accommodate two ring setup for the match. They usually have the layout and the seatings and all that stuff, and they're usually pretty well ahead of the actual date to the arena date, so you'd see it set up that way. But so far, nothing's happened, except it turns out that Tampa Bay Times Forum in Tampa, site of this year's Battleground pay-per-view, is big enough for a War Game setup. So we'll see how that goes. They could just move some people out, say, hey, get out of here, we got to set up another ring, and bolt them together and go on. Hey, happy birthday to current WWE champion John Cena, 37 years old. Do you think we'll ever see him? And WWE Hall of Famer Tony Atlas, 70 years old, and TNA wrestler Jesse Goddard's 28. Also, this would have been the birthday of two-time AJPW Triple Crown champion Terry Gordy, would have been 53. I hate that when people die so young, man. Not only Warrior, but even Daniel Bryan's father was about the same age. Just up and drop dead. Whew. All right. Noted before that Beyond the Ring special that had Edge on it, supposedly was supposed to air last Saturday on WWE Network. Never did, but it's confirmed for this coming Saturday night, 8 p.m. if you want to watch that. You remember Spirit Squad? Remember old Mike Mondo, little kind of a short guy, ran around the ring quite a bit. He used to work for Ring of Honor and a lot of other indies since he got released in 2008 from WWE. Worked a dark match before last night's WWE taping in Hershey, Pennsylvania, lost to Bo Dallas. Mondo tweeted after the match, he said, man, it felt great to perform in a WWE ring tonight. Long time coming. Thank you for everyone's love and support. I remember in Ring of Honor, it seemed like it was last year, or maybe a little bit longer now, he broke his leg and was out of action for a long time. Santino Marella's Battle Art MMA school outside of Toronto won Best Award for Best Fitness Club in the city. One reader also noted that some wrestling training at the school notes that Santino is there fairly often, so he's just not a ghost owner. Now this is kind of strange here. She's going to be getting some heat on her, maybe something lighter butt on fire. There continues to be a lot of people within TNA that are worried that TNA's deal with Spike TV won't get renewed this year. And last time the deal was renewed, it was around this time, well, before October when it expires anyway. They always have it, because it's got to do programming and all this other stuff. But noted before that Dixie Carter recently held a meeting with employees at TNA's Nashville offices. Dixie asked why the morale was so low in the company, and there's a lot of it. A lot of it has to do with the cutbacks, losing a lot of the employees and wrestlers. There's also a feeling that Big John Gerbic is over his head. feeling that Big John is in over his head. Gerbic has been doing a lot of creative work lately, and while he worked for WWE, he never worked in the creative there. So he's kind of on mushy ground. He don't know. And there's even more concern when Janice Carter and Panda Energy lawyer Creed Williams came to Nashville to have a meeting with Dixie over the past few weeks. Janice and Panda's officials usually stay in Texas, so her trip to Nashville made people start talking. And at the same meeting Dixie held with TNA and the Nashville office's employees, she wondered why TNA didn't have the presence at WWE's WrestleMania 30 weekend. But usually, even a lot of the indie groups did around there, since everybody kind of migrated to that area. Sources observed that Dixie is always talking about what they should have done and not what they should do. You could always live in the past, but if you learn from it, go on. Don't even talk about it. Just learn from it and go on forward. There's a feeling that TNA needs someone to push the door open and make things happen, but that's not happening right now. And there's a feeling TNA is just sitting there, and they don't have much momentum at all. All we got to do is hire somebody fresh like my dumb ass to come down there, kick you in the ass, and get going. The word was ass. Anyway, TNA, Jim Ross was on Twitter and said they wanted to know if somebody asked him if Vince McMahon would ever be on his podcast. He says, not too likely. And John Cena granted another wish through Magic Moments Group when he was when he met a 15-year-old Dalton at a recent Raw in Birmingham, Alabama. WWE's community website has photos of their meeting at this on the internet, and Cena's well over 400 granted wishes through the company like Magic Moments and Make-A-Wish now. And that's why you can't make that guy a heel. You just can't do it when he does stuff like that. WWE's NXT star Sawyer Fulton noted on Twitter yesterday that he was dropping fellow NXT star Cal Bishop off at the hospital for surgery. No word yet on what kind of injury he suffered, but Bishop's real name is Clayton Jack, which just seems backwards to me. But he's a former Oregon State heavyweight wrestler. And Hall of Famer Sunny noted on Twitter that she's been very sick and in and out of the hospital lately, and she just got released from the hospital on Tuesday. Didn't say why, she's sick. Apparently you don't go to a doctor when you're sick, you go to the hospital. And dark segments after last night's Raw and the SmackDown taping in Hershey saw the Shield and the Wyatt family brawl. Well, man, that's just another day for them. And the Wyatts got the upper hand until the Shield fought back and sent them running to end the tapings. Well, John Cena announced locally on Tuesday morning that Daniel Bryan's replacement for last night's WWE SmackDown taping in Hershey, but he did not appear. Oh well. Jim Ross, new Ross Report interviews, should have been a good interview too. I don't get the podcast, but he interviewed Jim Cornette. And WWE will return to Hershey, Pennsylvania on Sunday, December 25th for a live event. The password, by the way, is Hershey. And WWE announced that Stephanie McMahon will be on Monday's Raw to issue an apology to Daniel Bryan for the attack from Kane that took place on Monday's show. Well, good. About time. WWE's latest storyline update on Daniel Bryan, by the way, is that he has been diagnosed with a cervical cord pneumonia due to the attack on Kane on Raw. That says Dr. Chris Annan. He has as of the last examination, Bryant did have some residual weakness in his arm, however, but we expect that to clear up relatively quickly. And once he regains full strength, he will be fully cleared to participate. All right, that's the nail. Anyway, WWE noted that Bryan is at home resting, but planning to wrestle on Raw next week. F4W Online reports that Bryan is being kept off the weekend due to his father passing away. Just to let you know on that. Thanks for clicking, you guys. I gotta go.